Welcome to lecture 2 of deep learning stroke machine learning important concept. Today we'll be looking at what we know as loss function, cost function, objective function. All these three are used interchangeably. And what is the concept of this loss function and cost function and objective function? If you watch the lecture 1 video, we discussed about how we are trying to learn our y based on the x. So we're trying to learn a function, a mapping of our x to y. And a loss function is just a function from our outcome to how bad the outcome is for us. In other words, it's the loss function. It's telling us uh, how bad is our outcome. How bad is our outcome? That is our outcome, or you could say our prediction. You could say our prediction. You could say our guess. You could say our hypothesis. You could say our assumption. So we basically we learn if an hypothesis function, like we said in the last video, and the hypothesis function may most often than not does not represent the exact function. How do we correlate between the exact function and the hypothesis function? And that is what the loss function is trying uh, to measure. So let's quickly see that again. We said for us to learn our y using the sample data, which is a function that takes in x, and in this place from our survey observation, we discovered that our exact function is 2x plus 2. But if we have so much a lot of data here, it is possible that somebody will predict and says that let's call it a y prime, and says that the f prime taking x is actually 2x plus let me make it simple now, let me say plus 1. So maybe a model which a machine learning model or a deep learning model that we train on this data was able to learn the parameters, that the parameters here is 2 and 1. Often we always write this one as theta 0 and this one as theta 1. So if I want to write it properly, we put it this way. So that is most times the way it's written. So the same thing with this. So you might see it often this way. So now we have theta 0 and theta 1, which are our parameters. Is also called W0, W1, depending on the literature you're reading. So this is our hypothesis, and this is our exact function. So our loss function is a function L that takes in our y prime and our y, and that is our loss function. It takes in our y prime and our y and try to measure the difference between our y prime and our y. That is the basic thing. That is, how far are we from our goal? So for instance, let's take in this case, let's say we say our y, our x is equals to 2. Our x is equals to 2. By virtue of the exact function, the y that we're supposed to get should be 6, that you can see in our data instance. But because our learned function that we learn, the hypothesis function that we learn says it is 1 plus 2x. So that is 2 times our x is 2. And by the time you do this, you discover that we're going to get 4 plus 1, which is 5. So our exact function says that y is 6. Our predicted function says that y equals to 5. And so what is our loss? So the loss here is the difference between the y prime minus the y value, and which in this case is equal to 5 minus 6, so which is equal to minus 1. That is the concept of the loss function. That's just measuring the difference between our guess value and the actual value. In subsequent videos, we shall look at various ways by which this loss function is measured. Thank you for listening. Do let us know what your opinion is about this video. Thank you. Bye.